Hey, welcome to Naz716 Studio. It's your boy, Big Frank. What it is, what's up? I hope your day is going well. Do me a favor. Make sure you guys share right away. Listen, I have information for you guys I want to get into. Listen, make sure you share it. You can comment below. We can have dialogue, and I'll respond to your conversation because I want to get into the bag today. Make sure you tune into the shows throughout the weekday. We have Clearing the Mist with Ken Hamilton on Monday. We have the Rick and Rhonda show on Tuesday. We also have Vibing with Vicky Whiteman. We also have Keeping It Frank with Big Frank on Thursday, and also Faith Matter with Dr. Nasir Khan. So listen, it's funny because I tapped in yesterday to Vicky Whiteman, and she was just discussing the power of like vocabulary words, the use of words, and being able to really have that exchange and how words are powerful. So I have my own show called Big Frank in the Morning on Fire 716 Radio. And we had a dialogue today, and we were just talking about what it takes to defend somebody. But one of the conversations that came up was the purpose of living, like identifying the fact of why you're here. I text a friend of mine today. He said, "What you gonna talk about today?" About knowing your position and being confident in it. Let me pause here for 37 seconds, because what I realized in our conversation this morning is that we're trying to get to a place as human beings, as people, and we have certain things holding us back and restricting us from occupying the next level or the next phase of life. Now, I'm gonna go back a little bit further because certain people have put us in a box and put limitations on us. You say, "Frank, why are you going this route?" I'm gonna tell you why I'm going this route, because before we get to the community news and what's going on in the community, we must deal with the factor called the people. And before you want them to get the organization, come and have words and do all this, they must know the reason or motivation for living. Why am I here? What is it that life has yielded me that I should be occupying this place right now? And sometimes it is difficult and challenging to occupy a place that you haven't been pushed to. What you mean, Frank? In other words, you are confident in being what you've been. You are confident in the fact that you've been put into this box of limitations. I'm gonna make it more practical. Now, I say this all the time. I've been known to be a DJ, the comedian, just the entertainer, all around funny, the jokester, and these elements. And I'm grateful for those experiences. But God has called me, and the purpose of life, I believe, is to be a change agent. Now, with that being said, though, there are people who will only see me for the things that I've done in the past. They only see us for the mistakes, the failures, the ups and downs, and it's hard for them to process you in your next level. So what happens is you find yourself trying to operate in who you used to be for people who cannot handle really who you are and where you're going. So before you can get out here and you want to be an activist and you want to talk and you want to change the community, let's pause for just 37 seconds and let's find your purpose. Let's look at yourself. What is it that's happening in your world? Are you living your best life? Are you tapping into the better of you? Or are you still struggling, watch this, with the words that came at you from your days of adolescence? Are you still dealing with the heartbreak and the turmoil of certain relationships that came to you? I understand. You're like, "Frank, you preaching today," something like that. But the truth of the matter is, before I can get on here and just inform you, I have to make sure that you are prepared for the next phase of your life. Are you ready to see better? Are you ready for the next? Are you doing your due diligence to take care of your mental and your physical health? I'm talking this very well right now because what I've learned is I've found people who they know their purpose, they know why they're here, but they can't execute the assignment because there are physical challenges within them, both mentally and emotionally. So yes, find your purpose. Yes, identify who you are. Yes, know why you're here on the earth. Yes, I get it. But once you figure out what it is that you've been called to do, now there's a responsibility to tap into it. There's a responsibility now to reach for the next level, because you cannot occupy the next level if you're still trying or you remain stuck in what you used to do, what you used to be in, how you used to get there. Because at this point in your life, forgive me for this, I'm just trying to share the live here. It's your responsibility to tend to yourself. Something that I talk about all the time is, yes, God gives purpose, yes, God gives you a plan, but God gave you the responsibility to take care of your body. He gave you the responsibility to deal with your health. And you're like, Frank, how you talking? You're a big man. I'm telling you, I'm in the season of my life right now, dealing with my health because I know my purpose. And what a shame it would be, what a disappointment it would be not being able to live out your full potential because you haven't taken care of this body, as you call the temple, if you will. You haven't taken the time to do what's required for your mental health and your physical health. Because we all have our own challenges. I'm not here to preach to you like I got it together all the way. But I'm here. It says, if you have a strong purpose in life, you don't have to be pushed. Your passion will drive you there. And that's 100% accurate. Because when you listen, this is going to bless your life. Once you identify who it is that you're supposed to be and your purpose, you learn what kind of circles, or you learn the people that's going to be close and the people that's not. Let me say this. Y'all may not like me today. Just because you are a day one, I know, day one, A1 since day one, for those who are like, Frank, what you talking about? That means it's somebody who's been your friend for a long period of time. Somebody you've been connected to and they always been with you, rocking with you. But the truth of the matter is that they can't always go with you to the next phase. They don't always make it through transition. They don't always make it through changes. And you have to have purpose in your life and to know that sometimes you got to lose. Sometimes you got to take a step back and say, okay, my life is bigger than what I used to do. Now, let me just give you a little insight to my life because life is real. Yes, I'm a business owner now. Yes, I got kids. I got a wife. Hallelujah. I am grateful. But there's a time in my life where I wasn't always living the best life. I was promiscuous. I was drinking. I was, doing those extracurricular activities. I was out here and I lived in my vehicle for a while. Like there's a storyline here, but what ended up happening was there's a time for transition. There's a time for change. One thing that the Bible says that I love so much in Romans 12:2, it says that be transformed by the renewing of your mind. And the process of being renewed by your mind simply means becoming who you're supposed to be. We're born into a world that we don't quite identify all what's happening. There's just so much happening. We're being told stuff, we're being taught things, and our mind is being, I don't want to use the word manipulated, but it's being catered a certain kind of way. But it comes a point in your life where you have to be like, okay, I understand what that situation was, but who am I? Who am I? What is my assignment? What is my purpose for living? I'll tell you this story quickly. I'm gifted at a lot of things. My hands are blessed, and I thank God for that. Had my hands in a lot of different career paths, a lot of different agendas, and just things across the board. But one thing's for certain, two things for sure. Just because I was gifted and the people loved it did not mean that was my purpose. It didn't mean that was it for me. That, oh yeah, yes, I'm a comedian. Yes, I can be funny. Yes, I did Medea. Yes, I impersonated somebody. And yes, the people loved it. But that wasn't the purpose. That wasn't the purpose. Yes, I can DJ. I've DJ parties. I've been rocking out. I brought Big Frank in the building, whole job. But that wasn't the purpose. Yes, I've been in plays and productions and done things of that nature. But no, that wasn't the purpose. I come to understand that I am a life-changing agent, which means that your encounter with me, your life should be adjusted at least a little bit. That there should be something that happens in our conversation or in our mind that will yield a result in the name, a result that will cause you to change for the better. I don't want anybody to fail. It's not my will that anybody falls short or to fail or come up short. But I must be honest, and I'll say it again, that some of us we've been told a story. We've been giving a paradigm that we have to be what our parents been. We have to live a life that says, oh, my mom struggled, so I'm gonna struggle. Oh, my dad struggled, so I'm gonna struggle. Oh, the family, this is just what we do. Oh, all we do is, no knocking to those who sip what they sip, but all we do is play cards and drink and have a good time, and that's it. Your life is more than what your family has been. Believe in your heart that you're meant to live a life full of passion, purpose, magic, and miracles. The truth of the matter is that life, somebody said this, and I went to it wasn't quite a church, it was a coffee shop. And they talked about borderless living. And that means taking off the restrictions that you've placed on yourself to tell yourself that you cannot accomplish these things. Take off the limitation that says, oh, I can't do it because of this. Let me help you real quick. Yes, you can. Believe, have faith, pursue, try. Listen to me. Some of us are failing only because we haven't tried. Some of us aren't doing well because we haven't made the attempt to make things happen. Some of us are not going after the very thing that we've thought about, we dreamed about, because we have told ourselves that we are disqualified from the things we have access to. And that's nobody else's fault but our own, because we haven't challenged, this sounds crazy, we haven't challenged anybody. We haven't challenged ourselves. Yes, we understand the fact what they told you. Yes, I understand the broken heart. Yes, I understand disappointment. Yes, I understand failure. Yes, I understand that it's just, God, every time I try, it's something else. It's something that I got bills, I got pain, I got agony. Listen, I understand and I comprehend what it is that you're talking about, but I came to tell you today that once you identify your reason for living, once you understand why it is that you've been called to survive today, and I'm going to tell this for somebody, some of us have been a part of things that we shouldn't have made it. But the fact that you've made it, the fact that you're here, the fact that you're listening, the fact that you see me, the fact that you did not lose for real, must let you know that there's a reason why you're here. Out of everything that's going on, that you are still here. Failure is not the opposite of success. It is a part of success. 100%. That you have to begin to continue and to press when this is going to be good for somebody, when it don't look like it's working in your favor. Let me just be very honest and open to you all. I'm grateful for the business of Naz716 Radio. I'm grateful for Handley Studios. I'm grateful for JQ Juicing, the smoothie business. I'm grateful for Naz716. I'm grateful for the things that I'm in. I'm grateful for the Covenant of Grace Fellowship International. But these things that I have on my shoulders come with a weight. But guess what? I cannot give up. I cannot quit. Why? Because there is something greater on the horizon. There is something better for me that I can't allow the failures, the disappointment, the financial challenges to interfere. Failure is simply the opportunity to begin again, this time more intelligently. Absolutely. Listen, just because you messed up, just because you've fallen short, just because it's been a situation, I see you guys all, greetings, just because you have a situation or something seems as if it's off, doesn't mean that that's not the will or the purpose. Let me help you. That there's a process of transformation, because you cannot occupy certain places until your mind begins to change. You have to change. Oh, I'm about to go to a place. I feel good now. You got to get your mind into a place of succession that says, you know what, I'm going to do this and I'm going to do it well. And when failures show up, okay, I got to revamp, redo, but I'm going to try it again. I cancel. You cannot quit in this moment. You cannot throw in the towel. You cannot, oh God, I just do it. No, you got to go after it again. You got to get some push inside of you. You got to get some pressure inside of you. You got to push to a place that you ain't never seen before, because guess what? The problem is you're trying to push and you're trying to bring people with you who are not going, I got to get out of that real quick. They're not going to go with you. I have some good news and bad news. Are you going to make it? Yes. Are they going to go with you? No. Calm down. Because once you've identified the fact of why you exist and you begin to transform your mind, you are not reliable or responsible to change the minds of those that were with you. They have to, I'm going to get in trouble right here. They have to make some decisions for themselves. I'm going to pause for 37 seconds because we've identified the fact that we have to have our purpose, identifying our position. Now, the process that we're going through right now is a process of transformation. And that process means that we're trying to, okay, God, I know where I've been. I know what I've done. I know my purpose now. I know that all things work together for the good. I know that I'm trying now to get to a better place. And now that I'm trying to get to a better place, I have to now transform my way of thinking. But I find myself keep going back. Failure is success in process. Albert Einstein, come on, perfect example. The fact that you have to transform the way that you think concerning yourself. I'm about to get to a place, so I only got about 14 more minutes left. Because once you learn why you're here, now you're in the process of transforming to become who you believe you've been designed to be. And that transformation, this is the fight that you have. You're fighting the old you versus who you're becoming, and they're clashing. So sometimes you have to go through some rough places so that you can properly readjust what it is that has to happen. Sometimes you just have to be like, okay, there's something more, there's something bigger, there's something greater. But sometimes you don't understand that until you go through a rough and challenging place. Are you with me? And sometimes you got to revamp, redo, revitalize, and go after again. But for these last 13 minutes, I'm about to flip the script on you. Because now once you identify the fact of who you are, and your mind is being transformed, it is time to occupy the new you right now. And you don't have to apologize. You don't have to be a witness. You don't need approval for anybody. You don't need anybody's approval to be great. I don't know who's listening or who's watching, but you're trying to wait for somebody else to validate your greatness. I came to tell you today that you are great, you are strong, you are capable. But what happens is you keep trying to prove to a people that you are. I came to tell you, just be great. I hear this for somebody. Just be strong. I hear this. Just be who God called you to be. I'm going to pause right here because it's time to walk in your lane. What you mean, Frank? It's time to walk in your lane. I had a conversation on the radio station Fire 716 Radio, Big Frank in the morning, 8 a.m. to 10 a.m., Monday through Friday. And we talked about walking in your lane. And what some of us have done is we know what lane we should be in, but we have not crossed over. I'm preaching better. I don't got into it now. And I'm going to say it again, that we know what lane we should be in, but we haven't crossed over. Because this sounds crazy, I know. We're trying to keep up with a people that's not in, no, y'all don't hear me, that's not in our designated lane. We're trying to slow down for people to catch up to people who are not in our designated lane. You have been running and walking in the wrong lane for years, trying to get to what it is you're trying to get to. But you got to cross over and you got to move in confidence. This is not the time for second, I'm talking to y'all, but I'm talking to me. This is not the time to second guess. This is not the time to doubt. This is not the time to be afraid. This is the time to go after it and to pursue it with the confidence that God, it's time now. There is no valid excuse that you're going to come up with that God is going to approve. That sounds crazy, but I know. Frank, why are you yelling so much? Because I get excited. Calm down, because I get excited because I understand the fact that we have people in the community who have been dictated a narrative that they no longer have to occupy. They've been told for so long that there'll only be this, there'll only be that, you can only get this, you got to be on the welfare. And I'm not knocking the help, I'm not knocking the community, but we have been told a storyline that is not all that we are. And we're trying to get to a place, but a transformation, but you have to first identify what you're changing to. Let me calm down. Some of us are trying to change. You don't even know what you just out here being a chameleon. That wherever you are, you just changing every time. Just contorting. That's not really a chameleon. They don't really contort like that. But all you're doing is readjusting yourself to fit the scene. That's not what he called you to be. He didn't call you to come into a crowd of sinners and act like a sinner. He didn't call you to come into a crowd of people being crazy and you being crazy. No, he called you to be a standard. Everybody not churchy, everybody not doing all this crazy stuff, but the standard. You're called to be something greater, and that greatness should be everywhere you are. That greatness should be when you with your family, when you're with your friends, whether you're in your faith-based place of worship and adoration, wherever you are, it should remain the same. This is the time to be confident in who you are. And I'm telling you, just because I know that God is putting pressure on me to elevate my life and who I am and what God has commissioned me to do, and I can't afford to second guess. I can't afford now to question. I can't afford now to date, to reduce myself. I can't afford not to pursue everything that he said I can have. Because be great. Listen, that's it. That's the response. Listen to me. You don't need permission to be. People may get offended. This is the part where I talk about being confident. As long as people can handle you where you've been, you're okay. As long as you're struggling, I can handle you. As long as you don't have, I can handle you. As long as you're just funny, I can handle you. But the minute and the moment that you tap into something that is bigger, watch this, it's going to be good, that is bigger than you. Well, the moment that you realize that life is not as long as you think. I was just talking to my mother, and the mom just turned 50. Don't judge her, okay? She just turned 50. And I said, Ma, you only got about 30 to 40 more summers left, maybe 50 more summers left. Time. You don't have time. You don't. I don't know, oh, I'll do it later, I'll put it off. You don't have time. Your time frame of success. You don't know what tomorrow is going to bring. I get it. We don't know what's going to happen between today, 3 weeks from now. You have to make the most of your time. You have to take advantage of your time. Because if not, you'll be right here next year talking about, oh, I wish I shoulda, coulda, woulda. Or you'll get mad because somebody else is occupying the purpose that you said and you claim that that's yours because you thought you had time. I love my family. I do. I ain't going to hold you. I love my family. My wife and them, I love them. But you know, my dad, my family dynamic is very broad, and I love them. But I can't bring all of them with me, unfortunately, because they haven't transformed. My hope is that my life would yield them to transform and to change. Frank, how did you do it? I'll tell you how. But once you've identified purpose, now you have to transition from who you used to be to your purpose. And then you have to be confident in that and take the smoke. I'm going to say it again. Take the smoke that comes with change. Take the smoke that comes with being different. Take the smoke that comes with being set aside. Truth of the matter is, the time is right now for you to occupy the next level of your life. The time is now for you to no longer wait on anybody's approval. You say, Frank, why are you repeating yourself? Because I've learned that repetition is the key to persuasion. You've been sitting there watching and listening. You've heard preachers. You've heard people talk. You heard all that. I get it. I understand that Naz716 Studio is a community location for the community to just provide a voice, to do great things in. And I encourage you guys to reach out to them and really be a part. But I just felt led today that, listen, before I can get on here and start to give everybody community updates, all that's going on in our hearts, I must deal with the people. Because one of the missions that we have at Covenant of Grace Fellowship International is that we empower a people to empower a community that empowers the world. So that is the chain of action. So my goal here with Big Frank is to empower the people, to empower us and to challenge us, because as much as we can put pressure on politics and all these people, let me put pressure on us. Put pressure on us to really become the next level. I'm going to say this, and I'm going to say it with a boldness for those who are watching. You shouldn't be in the same place that you're in now next year. I don't mean that physically, but I do mean it physically at the same time. Meaning that where you are like living, I'm not worried about that. But the way that you carry yourself, you conduct yourself, it should not look identical to where you are now. There should be an advancement, because the time is now. The time, listen to me. I told my church at the transition of our apostle, Bishop Brinson, and I told him, you think you got time, but you do not. I'm 34, just turned 34 July 1st. My wife just turned, she turned July 3rd. And I'm a father now of 3. But there's an assignment on my life, a responsibility that I have to live my best life. So that requires me to physically tend to this temple. It requires me to make sure everything that comes around me is not detrimental. You can't stop everything. Some things you just can't get away from. But the things that I can control, things that I can deal with, those things I will monitor to protect my peace, my sanity, my life, my dreams, and my hope. Listen, it's been good for these 25 minutes just to talk to you, rock with you. Listen, I'm here at Naz716 Studio. They have a show every weekday at 6 o'clock. On Monday, Clearing the Mist with Ken Hamilton. Tuesday, it is the Rick and Rhonda Show, Vibing with Vicky on Wednesday. Keeping It Frank with your boy, Big Frank. Also, Faith Matters with Dr. Nasir Khan. Listen to me. Reach out, because you might have a podcast. You might have something that you want to do, and you say, Frank, I don't have a camera. I don't have a platform. Reach out, connect, because there might be a space for you here as well. So reach out. The phone number is there, 716-315-1800, or reach out at studio@naz716.com as well. Also, and remember that you can check me out in the morning on Fire 716 Radio, Monday through Friday from 8 a.m. to 10 a.m. We rock out and we have a good time. So rock with me, y'all. Be encouraged. And remember that the time is not tomorrow. It's not later. It's right now. Listen, go get what it is that you believe is yours. Go get it. Make it happen. I'll holler at y'all. Peace. Big Frank.